and you'll have time to improve the business, get a higher multiple.
Hope so. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in.
All right. Thanks. All right. Bye-bye.
Yo, was that wild? Right? This is why we do this. This is why we do this. The good shit, right? That was good. That was fun. That was a good one. All right, I'm gonna answer one and then I'll hit back. Okay, Flavia, you're the one. Hey, Alex, how to make good media buyers work for me and my agency instead of leaving to build their own. Huge hugs from Brazil. Well, huge hugs back. You have to make, basically, you probably have to compensate them better than you are right now. That's the truth of it. You probably have to pay them better. And the way that I prefer to have like client services is not like one to many, but many to one if you can. So it's like, or many to many, meaning let's say that you've got client services that have 4 components to it. I'd rather have a 4-person team doing the work. It's much harder for 4 people to leave and take customers than 1 person to leave with their book of customers. Does that make sense? So it's like you get a pod approach rather than a single service provider approach, and it makes the business significantly more robust. So that's the real tactical answer. So that's structural versus paying them more. If I had to pick, I would go structural because then it'll be business model focused. Bingo, bango. Let's do it. Money mangoes. Live and interactive. That's right. That's right, baby. We got someone coming on. How do you base business ethics so you have fewer regrets? Act in a way that you would be proud of looking back on. I think if you can think that way, you will always feel better because even when it feels hard after suffering the cost of the decision, you will know that I'm just saying, like I've had plenty of these types of scenarios, and the more I've done the quote right thing, the more reinforced for doing the right thing I've been. So it's my 2 cents. Do we have somebody coming on?
Hey, Alex.
Hello, what's up? I can hear you. What's going on? Hello, hello. I heard, hey, Alex.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, shoot. Tell me the stats. What's going on?
My name's Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah, so I run a digital marketing business that helps clinics in the Gulf markets attract Arabic-speaking patients for elective procedures.
Okay, hold on. Digital marketing agency helping Gulf, like the Gulf of.
Yeah, like the Arab Gulf or the Persian Gulf, like talking about like Saudi Arabia,
okay, cool.
UAE.
Persian. Okay, marketing agency helps Persian people find.
No, Arabic-speaking.
Okay, cool.
Arabic-speaking people.
Okay.
Elective procedures.
So this is plastic surgery.
So yeah, plastic surgery, dental that's elective, veneers, things like that.
Got it. Okay.
And then we're not making a ton. We do about 300 in revenue. I probably get about 150 in total take home.
Okay.
And as far as like my profit and comp, and
okay.
Right now we're kind of struggling because I'm not sure the market is big enough. Because we're doing like a ton of cold outreach. We've been doing it for 2 years. We use Instantly and we use Apollo and kind of all the main services there. And the thing we struggle with is like I'm struggling with doing the whole 100 action thing because when we like research cosmetic surgeons in Saudi Arabia, we might be lucky to put together a list of 150 of them. And then it's like we do the outreach, for a week, and then it's like we run out of prospects. And then, we try to look for dentists, and then, we find another 200 to 300 that can do, elective procedures, and then we run out. And so kind of struggling with
What made you start with that what made you get into Arabic speaking? Like, what made you do that?
So originally back in 2012, I started an agency doing like Arabic SEO, and we were like the only one in the market doing it. I lived in the Middle East for 4 years and just thought I'd try this skill out. And it worked really good for a while until probably a couple of years ago. There just like was a ton of competition in the market. So we started niching down. And since we've had a lot of medical clients, I thought, let's focus on elective stuff and try to get clinics. But I'm kind of like struggling with the market size. Like it's kind of a developing market.
So you can get leads for them. Do they retain?
Yeah, so a lot of them retain, they stick around, or and with some of the clinics, they'll pause for like a period where, like, I
What's
don't know, they go
annual
on a
revenue retention?
vacation or
What's
for Ramadan or
what's
something like that.
annual
But
revenue
yeah, they
retention?
stick around. What's that?
What's annual revenue retention?
Annual revenue retention. So we're churning about 50% of our clients every year, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, you have an acquisition issue. The problem is,
Yeah.
so you have kind of like you have two issues, right? So issue number one is that you're dealing with very small businesses, and so there's going to be structural churn that exists there because they are not very big business owners, and so as a result, their volatility translates to your volatility. That's thing one. Okay. The second issue is that
Yeah.
you don't have a reliable way of getting them. Outreach is obviously a way of doing it. You might benefit from just straight running ads for anything that's elective. The good news is that with Andromeda, you can be very specific and still keep the targeting relatively open, meaning your creative can be like, all right, well, we're going to run a campaign for dental cosmetics. We're running a campaign for ocular facial. We're one for just pure facial. We'll run one for noses. We'll run one for necks. We'll run one for boob jobs. Like we'll run one for each of each of the different surgeon types. And I would bet that if you ran ads with those objectives, you would probably do better. There are certainly more than 150 of each of these things. There are tens of millions of people. You know what I mean? In that whole area, there's for sure some issues with like wealth and money and whatnot. But I feel confident in saying that you could just run ads rather than do outbound because I just think you're just not getting as many leads as exist. But
Okay. So maybe
are
cold
you-
outreach isn't a good channel. Now,
it's
when
not a
you say
bad
this
channel.
issue
It's just
with
that you don't have
the wealth.
you just don't have the ability to get the leads. So it's like I could say, hey, try harder at getting the leads. It's just you have been doing this for a while, so I didn't feel like barking up that tree. And so I think just running ads to get them might be a better next step. I would still say like you niche down to a super niche. You might be you might do well just like opening it up to like the U.S. And not make it Arabic and just open it up to the U.S. That would be like my second thing. I would still try the ads angle first though.
Yeah, one of the things that we struggle with, like with the ones that we do work with, is their budgets are relatively small, and we constantly are getting compared against having like a freelancer in the market that's super cheap. They're like, I could hire 5 people for the price I'm paying you.
Well, here's the downside. Here's the downside of what you're doing is that you're kind of reverse market arbitraging.
Yeah.
So the ideal way to do this is live in Indonesia and sell to Americans. You're like living in America and selling to people who don't live here.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that, I mean, I would prefer, like, I'll bet you'd just be able to not have any of these issues if you probably were US based. If you have the skill, you could just market here and compete. You've been doing this for like 12 years. So I would say it might be worth considering to expanding to the market where like the most buying power is.
So you think it's a lot easier being in the U.S. where there's more competition? Because at least the thing we have in the Middle East is like there's less competition that's hyper focused on this.
Yeah, no, there's less competition. I mean, how good are you? Do you feel like, are you good?
Yeah, I feel like we're really good. Yeah.
Well, dude, if you're really good, then so here's the big secret. If you're really good, you want to go where the competition is because that's where all the pie is.
Okay.
If you're not good, you start by niching down so you can be really good in a tiny pond.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's why you niche down to begin with. I'm not in a niche. I mean, business is my niche, but that's a pretty big ocean there, right? And so like as you get better, as you can compete in the wider and wider ocean, and you're a bigger and badder shark, the more you want to go where all the fish are at.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you might have just leveled up. If you're good, then compete, man. Like go and win.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Yeah, you got this, man. Just win.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, you bet. Rock and roll. Thanks for calling in, man. Appreciate it.
Sure.
All right. Matt, the chat does not die. I'm still staring at the chat, guys. Back to my roots. Systematic versus unsystematic risk. What a question. All right. I'm going to answer one of these chats.